remember when girl bands were up at bloody 7 o'clock in the morning doing full-on dance routines on daytime TV, doing press tours and travelling from interview to interview to perform their new single or album. I miss that and we need to bring that back. One thing I've noticed with the Gen Z girl groups is the lack of real promotion, like interviews, performances and other visual things where you can see members' personalities more. Most of the new Gen Z girl groups rely too much on TikTok trends for promo, which is a really good way to get noticed because it has worked for people such as Flo, Olivia Rodrigo and etc. However, when you're too focused on making your new single as a TikTok trend, you'd probably find it so hard to blow up, and sadly it's hard to announce, but you may come across as desperate, not to your fans, maybe to your fans and also the general public as well, and that goes for most artists as well, like we've seen on TikTok. And you could say some artists and groups are independent and struggle to be seen and noticed, and I totally understand that. However, when you're independent and you need to know, you need to show us more than just 30 seconds of a TikTok video. I've said this many times, invest your time to YouTube by making vlogs, covers or even singing your own songs in a creative but interesting way to attract more viewers and potentially streamers for your music. For example, Boys World, even though their label house was crap, which led them to disbanding, they invested time building their fan base by not only posting on TikTok but posting on YouTube as well, making opportunities for fans to get to know them, and also posting and investing into high quality filmed covers to RLY did a little bit of that as well. My next point is how the newer Gen Z girl groups are basically seen as internet groups instead of artists. Even with a big label, majority of the new girl groups haven't come off the internet and gained mainstream success. The only girl groups I can think of who have achieved this, who are Gen Z, are Flo and Cat's Eye. With Flo, they blew up on Twitter because of the Cardboard Box music video. However, we're consistent with music, which led them to gain more success because 1, the right timing and Little Mix were breaking up. Sorry, just tell you a lot if you are grieving Little Mix. And 2, they gave us something different and were interesting and not the same old girl group vibes. Such as we hadn't seen an all R&B girl group in the mainstream since the 2000s and the 90s. So Flo was a breath of fresh air because the other girl groups we saw were like dance, pop, electronic, like Little Mix, Girls Aloud and etc. And Flo brought something we hadn't seen for ages and they nailed it, and I'm so thankful for them. Cat's Eye, on the other hand, were made by a K-pop company, aka Hybe, and Jeffern, who is Olivia Rodrigo's record label, who are massively rich and the biggest companies who can offer them amazing opportunities with their connections, such as their Netflix documentary Pop Stars Academy. If you haven't watched it, it's actually quite good but controversial. The biggest problem I have with record labels these days is they also are too relied on social media and TikTok these days than actually making their girl groups releasing music to make money, because labels have gotten into the habit where they're delaying the release date of music because a song hasn't become a TikTok trend straight away, like their peers Olivia Rodrigo, Flo and many more who got fame from TikTok. The amount of times I've seen girl groups promote for months 1 million of unreleased songs on TikTok without a pending release date of a single or an EP/album is so exhausting to me. I get it, you need to gain fans and other consumers' approval if they like the songs. However, these are small artists and groups, so it's going to be much harder for them to make people join in to their TikTok trend when consumers really just want to listen to the full song on the EP instead of zip it on TikTok. And I guess TikTok's good for like hype of a song and the release date, but I'm tired of artists, record labels making their artists wait until not even a month, like 2 months until the actual release date. It's exhausting, and fans are going to be sick and tired of the whole mess. The long wait for unreleased music when you are teasing songs without a set date to be released is going to be annoying for fans and regular consumers and will make you lose the hype. We saw it with the girl group RLY, and that's why they flopped a little bit and broke up. It's so sad. Are record labels really that dumb to realise this? Because really, it's common sense. You know what will be good for good promotional tactic for the current girl groups these days? Put them on big podcasts to attract young people. We need to get to know your personalities so we can identify which girl group member is similar to us, which is why Little Mix Girls Aloud and Spice Girls Fifth Harmony and etc. were big and successful. Also, another good promotional tactic, but I haven't really seen that much, is like getting girl groups opening for big artists. Well, I've started to see some girl groups have this, like Flow are currently going to be opening for Kalani, and Say Now, in their debut era, pushed by Atlantic Records to open for Dylan, which is so good for them. Like, I like Say Now's label, Atlantic Records, because they push them so well, but the problem with their record label is that they always delay releases. Like, they could have released an EP at the start of the year before opening for Dylan, but that's just my opinion, if anyone agrees. I also like how Boy Is World opened for the Latin girl group Bellados. However, Bellados isn't really big in America, so it didn't really do them justice, and to be honest, Boys World was probably more known to the Western market than Bellados. But yeah, Bellados wasn't really popular in America, but they might have been popular in South America. But yeah, anyways, Boys World should have been pushed further because they had potential and they had a big fan base. Overall, I just want to see girl groups do more TV appearances and performances, because I used to eat them up when I was getting ready to watch One Direction and Little Mix perform with their new single. That's all. So, future record labels, give me that, please. Especially with Say Now. And also, I've realised these days there's not much music programmes anymore. Like, back in the 2000s and 90s, and even the 80s, 70s, whatever, they had Top of the Pops, where artists, girl bands, boy bands, any type of band used to perform their new single. And then in the 2000s to 2010s, there was the X Factor, Britain's Got Talent, where people used to promote their new singles and albums on there. Now in the 2020s, we don't have any of that. We just have daytime TV, and not even record labels are getting their groups and artists to perform on daytime TV, when that could also result in promo, because everyone watches the news, like Good Morning Britain, Good Morning America. So that's a good investment for the record labels who are watching this video. Get your bands, artists to do performances on morning television, aka Good Morning Britain, because everyone watches the news. One thing that I'm hoping is when Flow releases their debut album, I hope they get given the opportunities to do real promotion, because the singles they released this year didn't really get any UK promo. Like, I'm hoping for their UK television debut be on more radio, because a lot of the girl groups this year has been lacking on radio, except from RLY, and they've disbanded right now. And I hope Flow do more radio interviews as well, because I need more visual video. I haven't got that much visual stuff from new girl groups, and also Flow are like quite mainstream more than the others, so they have potential to have their TV debut, and that's what I need from Flow. Anyways, I hope everyone enjoyed the Rant Star video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below, because it is interesting and it's something I've been thinking about in my head for a long time. So I thought, let's make a video about it. That's all. Goodbye. Enjoy your day.